You recording?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
What's up? It's Joe.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
Merry Christmas, my man.
And Merry Christmas to our listeners and our viewers on YouTube and everything else. Happy holidays. Hope it's been a great 2021 for you.
Man, it was not great, but I am happy to be at the end of the year.
Yeah. It had its moments.
It had its moments. We a lot of us got back to work, which was super important in my life and your life.
Santa hat on?
I like the Santa hat. Is it going to get hot down there?
I might take it off after.
You look very cute in it, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the season.
Yes, I know. I need to get there, too. I think I need to get through this last wedding on Saturday, and then I'll be more festive.
By the way, we are recording this a week early. We're recording this on the 15th. It'll drop on the 23rd, I guess, so right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And if you're a longtime listener of the PHDJ podcast, you know Joe and I did an episode our first year doing this, so 4 or 5 years ago. And it was our favorite Christmas songs. And just out of, giving ourselves Christmas week off every year, we've repeated that show. But this year, Richie Stedman said, nope, you guys need to give us a new
Christmas special.
So we're becoming like the Michael Bublé, I guess, of...
I was about to say, Carrie Underwood's going to be on later, and Michael Bublé, and then Michael Strahan's going to come on. And
you got it. Yeah. So what do you got? A dozen? You got a dozen new Christmas songs you want to talk about?
I got a dozen new from the thing, but no, definitely not new as in... recorded in the last couple of years.
Well, as you'll see, most of mine are new. Most of mine are from the last few years. So,
that's interesting. I kind of went back and forth. Mine's all over the place. Why don't you start us out, Mike?
You want me to start?
Well, you know why? Because two things. Number one, I think do you like Christmas music? I guess that's my first question.
That is a great question. Some songs I do.
Yeah.
Some songs I get really sick and tired of, as I'm going to talk about in this podcast. Most of the songs I'm going to give you, not the first one, but most of the songs I'm going to give you are, I guess, what I want to call like originals. In other words, something recently. Because I think the world has enough versions of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Right. That's what I was.
Christmas. If I hear
maybe that's my problem.
Version, literally I filter on my hard drive. If I type in White Christmas, 50 songs come up. And how do you pick which one? It's just too much. So I do respect the artists nowadays who are writing new songs.
Christmas
songs. Yeah. So most of my list, although not my first one. So if you want me to go first here, I think I've talked about on the air here. There used to be a band called Day Soul. They came out of Asbury Park.
Yeah, I remember.
Right around the time when Kelly and I first started dating. So Kelly and I associate a lot of our early dating and going out and partying was to see Day Soul. So we have great memories of this band. Great Latin infused rock band. And we thought they were going to be huge because they did a bunch of originals and they got a record deal and their first record didn't break them. And then they got a second record and we thought that was going to break them and it didn't. And I've become actually good friends with some of the band. I've hung out with Albie, the lead singer. They do a version of Little Drummer Boy, which is really perfect because they are like I said, Latin, very percussion heavy. So you can definitely hear this, right?
Oh yeah, sounds great.
Okay, so it starts kind of chill like this, and here comes Albie is going to start singing right here. But then it slowly builds and builds, and here's the chorus. So it's got a really cool vibe. And then because they are a Latin based, he sings the end of it.
I like this.
It's awesome. I love it. And by the way, I looked it up. It is available on Spotify.
Oh, cool.
And the band is DE capital SOL. So if you want to look them at, and you can find their other stuff too. Like, give it a spin. You'll understand why Kelly. Anytime they performed, it was a party. They weren't like a sit down and listen to me band. We were on the dance floor the entire night.
And they just kind of hung it up. They just they never got signed.
I think what happens, they did get signed and they toured. I mean, they toured. They were over in the Middle East playing for our troops. They just never blew up. And I think what happmes with a band like that, everyone starts having family and kids and the years but Kelly and I love them so much. I was off one year on New Year's Eve. We flew out to Salt Lake City because they were performing at first night out in Salt Lake City.
Like a public event. Yeah,
we went to see them out there. So yeah, we were such huge fans and disappointed for them because we would have loved to have seen them reach, the fame and fortune. But they had all the elements. I mean, Albie is the quintessential lead singer, good-looking guy, charismatic on stage. The band rocked. Yeah, it was a shock to me that they never broke big. So anyway, so De Soul's my first one.
That's great, man. And I rearranged my order real quickly when you started talking about, and I'll play a band that I used to love that nobody knew of. Yeah, awesome. There was this band that I was friends with down in Wilmington. They actually got signed. I think they were signed to Atlantic. I mean, they had a deal and sort of got played on the radio a little bit. They were called Far Too Jones, which I don't really know what the name was about. And Kid Sproul could sing. It was kind of around like the end of that Hootie era, right. You know what I mean, and the beginning of the beginning of when Dave Matthews started to blow up,
right?
And they wrote the song called Christmas Time, and they referenced the mall here in Raleigh, and I always thought the song was so cool, and I would play it.
It's about stuff that I know. That's
yeah,
so cool.
It was just so cool.
Yeah.
You hearing that? Okay.
Yeah.
This is on Spotify. Rock. Yeah, it kind of does have that country rock kind of like. Sorry, I should have skipped the intro here. I love this first part right here.
Crossing off one more day.
Oh, you got a cool voice.
On my calendar today. I saw Santa Claus right down there at Crabtree Mall.
It's literally like right across the street.
Like, I know that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, Crabtree.
Oh, Christmas time, hurry up.
So it's got that vibe, you can see that kind of Southern Hootie. Yep. It was like right on the tail that they would open for Hootie when Hootie would come through North and South Carolina. So anyway, shout out Far Too Jones.
Yeah, it's funny. I guess these are two bands that are a typical example.
Yeah.
You can land the record deal, and it doesn't mean you're going to be the Rolling Stones.
It honestly, Mike, it even goes back to what I was telling my son. We were talking about this the other day about athletes, like how hard it is to be in the NBA or the NFL. We can name a million players that have played at Chapel Hill. I mean, superstars, 20 points a game, 30 points a game in a basketball game. I mean, on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and then they just don't go to the NBA. They never get drafted, or they play in Europe or something like that. It is so hard to take it to the highest level in anything.
Very true. All right, so like I said, most of the songs I give you today are going to be what I call originals. This is from just a couple years ago. The Jonas Brothers did a song called "Like It's Christmas."
I saw this one.
It's got a cool vibe to it. I love that intro, boom, boom, and then the chorus. Very catchy.
I love this.
Yeah. And I just realized they're a Jersey. Jonas Brothers are from Jersey too, aren't they? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I think they are.
True?
Yeah, I looked that up.
I love what the title one more time. Sorry,
that's called "Like It's Christmas" from 2019. I don't think they put out an entire Christmas album. I think they just put out like a Christmas single.
So we have a link to the old the old Spotify list from the original show, and then I'll send you, because I actually did mine on Spotify. So I'll send you mine. And
they're from Wyckoff, New Jersey.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna send you my Spotify list, and then Mike, or I will combine them, and then you'll have two really good Spotify playlists for your friends and family. So this one is called, I think this is a newly written song as well. I may be wrong. Ed Sheeran and Elton John. It's called "Merry Christmas."
And gather round.
I told you I had 15 originally. This was in it. This was one.
Oh, it wasn't there? This was on the couples list for this weekend for Cocktail Hour.
Yeah. This is a cool song. Have you seen the video?
No.
The video's weird. It's really weird.
It is weird?
Ed Sheeran's like humping a Christmas tree or whatever.
What?
It's weird. Yeah, I know. It's weird.
So, sorry. I'm playing off Spotify. I guess you're hitting hotkeys, aren't you?
Yeah.
Check this out. I like Elton though.
For now, Merry Christmas. We'll dance in the kitchen while embers glow.
Dude, Elton. Dude, Elton is still killing it, man.
And again, I think that they wrote that, right? That's not a that's not a newer song.
If
I mean, it's not a classic song that they've redone.
I think they wrote it, man.
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
Yeah, I put my songs on my other Serato, and I've got my hot cues. That's why I can go.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I saw you do that, and I'm like,
damn, could have done that.
I believe, to be honest, I don't own some of these songs, and I didn't know where I was going to get them, and I don't love Christmas music.
On the air.
Yes.
So Sia put out a Christmas album a couple of years ago.
Okay. I love her.
Every Day is Christmas. Most of the songs on it are remakes and covers of older, but she did do a few originals, including this one called Santa's Coming for Us.
Interesting.
And I'm pretty sure I got this right on the
Oh, damn.
I love it.
I love this.
Cocktail hour. Yeah. Great vibe. Boom. And that's
I freaking love that.
Has that super vibe to it. And again, it's an original. It's not another version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
I can't with that. Yeah. This is an old and it's a staple. It's probably in everybody's list, but I think I appreciate Bublé even more after Randy and I went and saw him last month. He came through town. An absolute superstar, born to be on that stage.
Funny guy,
the most natural,
great singer,
funny,
can move around a little bit. Not that he's a great dancer,
not
but
a great dancer,
on stage.
Dude.
I think Kelly and I have seen him maybe half a dozen times.
Oh, wow, that many, yeah.
You know what's funny? Last time we saw him at Madison Square Garden, he introduced his grandfather. He talked about how his grandfather was the one who turned him on to all these standards. And he said, Grandpa's in the audience, and we were 2 rows ahead of his grandfather.
No,
Kelly, we got pretty nice seats.
He talked about his grandfather, and he had passed recently. He's died now. Yeah, so he did talk about him. I know, but he did reference stories and about how he used to come to his shows and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah. So what is he?
Beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah.
I just love the way that, I mean, the tone in his voice, the opening of it, perfect. Come on, Michael. By the way, he had a full orchestra up there, 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
It's beginning to look a lot like
that. Damn screams Christmas. Now, overplayed, overdone, maybe, but man, Bublé is.
Like I said, when I've seen him live, I feel like I'm seeing Sinatra at the top of his game. Like he's that
enigmatic. Like And he, I mean, he modeled himself after those guys and Dean and the whole Rat Pack. Like he's watched their shows and he's like, I want to be the 2020 version of those guys. 2021.
So I think I might have put this next song in just to piss you off.
Jesus!
Because I know you hate Taylor Swift, and as she says, haters are going to hate. She did a single a couple years ago. I don't think she did a whole Christmas album, but she released a single. And again, it's an original. She co-wrote this song. It's called Christmas Tree Farm.
Okay.
Similar to what you just played, it does start like a very classic sounding.
My winter nights are
but then the chorus.
That's happy. Yeah.
Super cool vibe. And again, we're talking about, one of the iconic, singers of modern day, Taylor Swift. And I love it. And I will admit to, I think I'm officially a Swifter. What are her fan bases called? Swifties. I might.
Those 2 folk records turned you over into a super fan.
They did. Yeah.
Over the quarantine. I think those got you through quarantine.
They've caused me. Yes, they definitely did. But they also made me go back and re-listen. She's a better songwriter than I ever gave her credit for.
I've never taken that.
I used to just dismiss her as a pop star, pop writer, pop. But you go back and she's a really good.
She's good. No man, I've never taken that away from her. I don't love her music, but I did like that song Willow. That was a fantastic record. And then
Betty from the first one that she released last year. That song Betty, punches me in the stomach. It's so painful and anyway sad.
Especially in the era of anybody, and again, I know she steered to pop now, but anybody in that new country vein, if there were still liner notes, you would see that nobody writes those songs. Keith Urban, Tim McGraw, they don't write their records, their songs. Taylor Swift writes her stuff.
Writes her own stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Everybody knows this. And I don't even know if I love it as a song as much as I immediately think about Christmas Vacation.
Right.
That movie makes me piss my pants every year.
This is pretty
It's just, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, Mele Kalikimaka. It's how, I guess you say Merry Christmas in Hawaii. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
We should call Tony, what's his name? Tony So, and ask him if that's really a thing, or if it's like, could it be potentially racist? Any Hawaiians,
I was going to ask you, is that your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah, hands down.
By far?
What's yours?
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life,
That movie gets me every single time at the end. I don't know. I always need the comedy, I think. But yeah, I mean, if you ask me for comedy,
God
Christmas, that when he's wearing the dickie underneath the shirt and you can see the outline of the dickie, it's it's a great movie.
And I feel like every year I watch it and I'll pick up something new that I just never.
Is that
really
the movie?
saw.
I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but is that the movie where they're making out in the back seat and she goes, "My house is on fire," and he goes, "Mine too, baby." Isn't that Christmas?
That might be the original. I'm trying to think if that's the original.
Because that's when I
haven't watched it this year.
Doesn't the Christmas tree
that's
go on
right.
fire?
Yes.
And I think the daughter and her boyfriend are making out in the car, and she sees it, and she goes, "Wait, my house is on fire," and he thinks she's like talking dirty, so he's like, "Mine too, baby." I think that's Christmas. I might have it wrong, but
God, I don't know.
All right, so anyway. John Legend has a new song out called "You Deserve It All." I don't even know if it's officially.
I was about to say, did you just make this into a Christmas song?
I mean, listen, it's not. There's no Christmas references, but listen to the chorus.
Cause you're the gift that keeps on giving, and you deserve it all. You deserve it all. You know you've been good all year. Come over here and let me show you. You deserve it all.
Should be.
So it might be just like sort of sounds like a Christmassy song.
Yeah.
But I put it into a new Christmas holiday mix that I just made. A cocktail mix, because I think it's got that vibe.
That's on his new album?
I don't even know if it's on an album. It's a new release. It just came out. Yeah. Artists aren't necessarily doing albums anymore. A lot of them are just dropping singles. The album that
drives me nuts, though, man. I'm not gonna
listen.
lie.
I think for certain acts, albums are still important.
Right.
I think for pop artists, just you got a song, release it.
You're right. It's an immediate reaction. I know this was on my last one, and I think the version I played was by Joe. This one's Donny Hathaway. Do you really know much about this guy?
No, I mean, I know some of his songs.
He died super young.
Voice, I go, oh, that's cool, but then I've never really been a huge.
This is this Christmas, and he died super young in his 30s. I think he might have committed suicide or something. Even my parents didn't really know about him. You know what I mean?
I like it.
I love this.
I like it.
I love this.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you.
It's got that kind of funk guitar.
This Christmas.
Nice. I love that. I love that version. Anyway, Donny Hathaway, This Christmas.
Very cool. Kelly Clarkson also has a new Christmas song out, which it's not exactly perfect for weddings. It's called Christmas Isn't Canceled, Just You. So it's kind of a breakup song. The beginning has almost like a Meghan Trainor kind of vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the cold,
totally.
Standing where the trees.
So basically she's saying they're breaking up and I don't care. Just you. I like it. I don't know. It just made me laugh when I first heard it. I'm like, that's a cool. I'm not just because you dumped my ass. I'm still gonna enjoy the holidays.
Right.
I thought it was pretty good. I think I like it. That's brand new. It's called Christmas Isn't Canceled, Just You.
I love that she's still making songs, and I know she's hugely popular on. Is it daytime TV? She has
her own show,
Clarkson
right?
show. Yeah, I think it's big. I don't watch daytime TV. I'm usually trying to make a living, but so. Are there songs, Mike? A little bit of a swipe at people. I know. Sorry, that was kind of wrong. Sorry. Yeah. Are there songs, Mike, that you hear that are these OG Christmas songs, OG versions that, like, when you and your brother and your sister went home, that were like playing on the? It could have been a turntable. It could have been an 8-track from.
We didn't have music. Wasn't as prevalent in my household. Yeah. I know it sounds like, and you mentioned how often really was.
It's why I am who I am.
My parents had a stereo. It was rarely used. The only Christmas song, and I don't have it on here, so you'd have to look it up. But Barbara Streisand does a version of Jingle Bell. Yeah, Jingle Bell or Jingle Bell Rock. And my sister and I make fun of it all the time because at the end she starts singing it really fast. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle, jingle. Like I don't know why that's one song that I remember my parents
sticks out as a kid, right?
But yeah, our household, and I don't want to make it sound like it's a depressing thing, but our household wasn't filled with music the way so many other households.
My mom and dad, even now, 78, 79 years old. I can tell you right now, and it'll be these couple of songs I'm getting ready to play, or we'll be playing when I go home next week to see them.
And are you sure this isn't a because the first show that we did? And
I double checked it. There was.
I remember
it could be even the same record because there's a Drifters Christmas album that they always have playing, and then they've got the King Elvis record. So they got. I always feel like the Drifters White Christmas version is. I feel like I'm gonna open the door and they're gonna be like "Merry Christmas," and this just with the bass.
I don't think I've ever heard this version. That's cool.
It's super cool. And
Drifters, that's the Drifters?
Yeah, and the Drifters also, remember now, we're in North Carolina and South Carolina. We've talked about beach music before, shag music.
Right.
The Drifters were like. A lot of shaggers love the Drifters, so it wasn't just like an old group; it was like a shag group,
right?
And then this Elvis Christmas out. Yeah, I'm gonna go double on this one. Christmas. I just love this. So this is Santa Claus is back in town. Dude, I love this. It's so good.
The king right there.
King, and like this, I think this is the opening track on that album. And I'm just like, nice. And back then, as a kid, I didn't really appreciate like how good these songs are. But anyway, those two will somehow be in the rotation next week when I go home for Christmas.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is another band. Kelly and I actually saw this band called Alternate Roots at a music festival. I think when we were seeing Day Soul and the Alternate Roots played at the same. And again, they had a record deal. I don't think they ever became big. Right. Kelly and I bought their like self-pressed CD that day.
Right.
But they have a song from 2014 called "It's That Time." Okay. And again, I just love the vibe. I like this mid-tempo cocktail hour-y vibe.
It's that time of year again. Let's sit back and pretend that we have nowhere else to be. Just you, just me.
Anyway, Christmassy vibe. Alternate Roots is the name of it. It's that time. I like it.
You want to go a double? You want to throw another?
Yeah, I'll give you a double. Train did a song 10 years ago called "Shake Up Christmas."
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah.
Oh, shake up the happiness. Wake up the happiness.
And again, the chorus.
Shake it up, shake up the
This was in a Coke ad that year as well.
Yeah.
A Coke ad, and I remember.
Christmas time.
And his voice is just so cool.
Oh, dude. Pat Monahan is
right?
Pat Monahan is a god to me. I've seen them probably, I don't know, 6-8 times.
Yeah. When I went to that Howard Stern 60th birthday bash, Train was the house band.
Yes, that's right. He loves Pat.
Yeah. And Pat loves him. They were the house band. So anyone that came out, like Adam Levine did a song, John Bon Jovi, not the band, did a song. Steven Tyler, Train was their back. It was great.
Isn't that crazy?
It was awesome.
Yeah, no, I've seen them a million times. I remember Pat went solo. He came through Raleigh by himself. I promise you, Mike, there weren't 15 people in this club. This was after like Drops of Jupiter.
Wow.
But it was him solo. It was like a Tuesday night. I think it was cold as shit. And dude, he played it like it was a stadium. Wow. And then as soon as it was over, he walked off the stage, walked out in the crowd. I got a picture with him. Like,
that's great.
And this was Grammys. Drops of Jupiter had already been out. And then I was like, dude, this is crazy. Anyway, and he just was one of those guys. Like, he never phoned it in. He played that show like there was 15,000. All right. I hate to do it to y'all. I had to go Bieber.
Street spreading so much cheer.
I love this song, Mistletoe.
In the winter snow, but I'm a
Young Bieber.
Under the mistletoe. I don't want to miss out on the holiday. I like it. But it can't
it's just got a vibe, like you said, man. It's a vibe. Like
playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe.
It was just, it's one
funny.
Of those
I
things.
had his version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town in here, but once I went from 15 to 12, I nixed that one.
There you go. Right.
It works for me.
It works.
So I believe we talked about in the first one that we did 4 or 5 years ago that we both hate the Paul McCartney Wonderful Christmas Time, right?
Dude,
it's just
I was getting ready to ask you what is your least favorite?
And my least favorite is Grandma Got Run Over by the Rain.
Okay, sure,
I don't think it's funny. I don't get it. It's cruel. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the Paul McCartney Wonderful Christmas Time, I think because I compare it to the John Lennon, which to me is the quintessential. That's my favorite Christmas song.
Right.
But
what, War is Over, or that one?
Yeah, War is Over.
Right. Okay.
Demi Lovato did a version of Wonderful Christmas Time, which actually makes the song a listenable in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Right? It's almost like a pop punk version.
Right. So she takes, and I think it makes my list just because it takes such a piece of crap, in my opinion, and makes it like kind of listenable. But yeah, I like that one. So props to Demi Lovato. That was 2009, her version of Wonderful Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I am realizing a lot of these things, like even this, NSYNC, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. You know, you and I are trending towards like boy bands and pop art.
And this is an original, right?
Yeah.
Did they write this?
Yeah, I think so. Or somebody wrote it for them.
Like, this is good coming out of dinner at a holiday party.
Yes.
Mid-tempo.
Anyway, I shout out to Bieber, shout out to boy bands.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're doing it. All right.
Gwen Stefani put out a Christmas album a couple of years ago, 2017. And again, it's filled with a lot of covers, but she did have a few newer songs on it. You Make Me Feel... You Make It Feel Like Christmas, which was a duet with her and Blake Shelton. And I think they were just starting to date at that point. I don't even know if the world knew yet. But again, I love the vibe.
Yeah.
Perfect cocktail hour beat.
I want to thank you, baby. You make it feel like Christmas.
I like this, man. Yeah, you're on it this year.
I want to thank you, baby. You make it feel like Christmas.
Yeah, I like it. That's Gwen Stefani with Blake Shelton. Good one. You got what? 2 more?
I got 3 more. 3 more.
Oh, okay.
I had 12. Yeah, this is 3 more. So everybody knows Chestnuts, whatever. The Christmas song, also known as Chestnuts.
It's called the Christmas.
But man, this version, Shawn Mendes, and I guess at the time they were probably dating when they recorded this, Camila Cabello. This
Have
kid's
they broken
voice,
up?
Yeah, they're done. It's a wrap.
So Camila Cabello's available?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Look, that kid can sing, man.
I don't know how Kelly's going to feel about that.
Jack Frost sniffing.
She can date Shawn Mendes.
You know what? She would take that swap in a heartbeat.
Dude, what girl wouldn't? That guy's a freaking stud.
Being sung by a choir.
He killed her. And then she got the Mariah kind of going on.
Yeah, the two of them were pretty hot together.
Oh, they were super hot. Yeah. Anyway, rest in peace to their courtship, but great song, Shawn and Camilla.
Cool. So one of the things I look for my events is our Christmas songs, holiday songs that have kind of a chill vibe to it, almost like a loungy kind of chill vibe. Because I think that's especially with a younger corporate. And I've got a version of Deck the Halls by a band called Ocean Avenue. Don't get confused by the song Ocean Avenue.
Oh, wait. Oh yeah, no, I love the song. Sorry, that's Yellow Card.
They do typical like loungy. So this is the beginning of it. It's 100 BPMs. Yeah, it's 100 BPMs. Here's the melody.
What's the song?
This is Deck the Hall.
Oh shoot.
So I like songs like this that aren't like, they don't scream, and it's an instrumental the whole way through.
Yeah, it's almost it's like that tropical house is like Kygo, like Kygo.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I will drop this again, especially if I have a younger crowd. Do it coming out of dinner. Do it during cocktail hour. But I think
so. Is it straight instrumental? It's instrumental,
right? Yeah. And it doesn't even scream holiday, but it's But anyone who recognizes the vibe would go, "Oh yeah, that's Deck the Halls." So yeah, the band is.
And again, man, if you've been like clamped down, I didn't. Dude, I'm not gonna. I'll be honest with you. I didn't do any holiday parties this season. I did one. Yeah, I did one online. But if you're being clamped down by HR at these larger, your Lenovo's, IBMs that are like, do not play anything, I guess religious would be the term. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can play stuff like that, right? That is instrumental, that still has a vibe, and get through like cocktails or dinner.
The one holiday party I did, I introduced the general manager. He gets up and he talked about their sales numbers were through the roof last year, everything else. And then he goes, now listen, everybody, the Boston division had their party last week and 15 COVID cases came out of it. So everybody be safe, party safe, blah, blah, blah. Keep your mask on. All right, DJ, take it away. And I'm like, thanks a lot, dude. Talk about
he did not say that.
He said that. And I mean, I turned it into a decent party, but I like talk about taking the life out of it.
What the hell?
Why are you doing this?
That's the first time I've heard that story. That's terrible. Everybody knows. So this band Need to Breathe. I probably have seen 50.
You love that.
This dude kills this for him.
I think I just texted you. I had a recessional song.
Oh yeah, you did.
The Heart.
Yeah, The Heart. Yeah, it's a great song. He almost sounds like Chris Stapleton on this. And they just put out, it's just on Amazon. I couldn't find it on Spotify. That's why I kind of subbed in this. A song with Switchfoot. Remember that song, I Dare You? I Dare You to... Switchfoot and Need to Breathe. It's on Amazon Music. It's called Hometown Christmas. They wrote it together, performed it the other night on some CBS special. But that's a good Christmas song as well.
Nice.
All right. Are you on your last one?
Yeah, I'm on my last one.
Me too. Okay.
Yeah. So my last one is as danceable as you can kind of get for a Christmas song. It's a song called Merry Christmas, Everyone by a band called Melisma.
Wow.
The original track was by, I never even heard of this artist, Shakin' Stevens in 1985. So here's it clocks in at like 122. And the chorus, so it's definitely like a danceable vibe. I've done this when I open doors, like last week when I did the holiday party. When the doors open, this was my intro song. So here's the chorus. If you listen to the lyrics, it's definitely a Christmas theme. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
How did you even find this? Like, I've never heard that.
That's a good question. I think it might have been a promo-only release. I think I might have gotten it from promo-only. It came out 4 years ago, 2017. And I remember hearing it and loving it and sticking it in my holiday party playlist, which, I cracked up about that the other day. I used to have a bunch of CDs that I took out during the year, and in December I would have to put them into my CD case. And I thought about that the other day. Like now, I just keep my holiday. I keep it all the way down.
A little crate. Yeah, me too.
This month I drag it up, and then at the end of this month I'll drag it back down. But it just goes to that. Like I remember driving to a holiday party many years ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot my holiday," and I had to turn around and get my holiday CDs.
That little stash that you had somewhere.
Those days are over. But yeah, I mean, I got this song. I got my hands on this song. I remember hearing it going, "Oh, that's a cool."
It is cool.
Doors open, end of cocktail hour, build up the energy kind of vibe. So yeah, that's it.
Last one for me. Yeah, last one for me is. I mean, this is somebody I've always wanted to see. They used to tour through here, and now I just associate it with two things. I associate it with two things. One, those super intense like lighting shows people do in their yards.
Yeah.
Or this is always like now going into Christmas. Whenever I go to what was Flywheel, which went out of business during the pandemic, is now
this Trans-Siberian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they're amazing.
Amazing, I've heard.
And you've seen them?
No, I have not. And it's been on my bucket list. And now I know they're getting older.
Took us to see them a couple years ago, and we freaking loved it.
Right?
Pyrotechnics.
Right, lasers.
Yeah.
So now, whenever I go to
which one is this?
This is Christmas Eve / Sarajevo 1224.
Okay.
And so this is the one people, they have those intense light shows that are synced to the music on their houses.
Right.
And then also this is like standard closing song the week of Christmas when you go work out at those cycle studios.
Oh,
so they'll be like, okay, crank the torque to 21, whatever. Okay, stand up on the bike. And you're just like, yes! Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
Or any of our listeners ever have an opportunity, we went to see them many years ago.
I've heard it was so rad.
Because it's funny, I have one of their tracks. I have Wizards in Winter in here.
Oh,
and this is another one I played towards the end of Cocktail Hour. Yeah.
Yes, this goes hard. Yes.
But yeah, they're awesome.
They go off. Yeah, man. So anyway, that's on my bucket list. I hope they don't get too old. I was shocked they didn't come through this year. They always come through.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a COVID
tours,
thing.
Yeah,
we saw them up in Newark,
mess.
man. Kelly's mom, and I remember she invited my mom, so it was the four of us. We had a nice lunch and we went to see them. It was really cool.
It was cool. Yeah. Dude, this was good.
This was great. Thank you for the inspiration or the push, Richie.
Thanks,
we
Richie.
appreciate it.
I'm sure everybody was like, Jesus, here we go.
So next week next week is the last week of the year. So I guess are we just going to do a 2021 recap? I guess next year.
Yeah,
next week.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Favorite songs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, favorite songs of the year, favorite moments of the year. We'll just do a recap of the year.
Favorite songs like personal or favorite songs DJ?
Let's do both.
Okay.
We can do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Sound
Awesome.
good?
Yeah. Right. So it'll be me and you. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about that off the air when we're going to record it. And so, all right, guys. Thank y'all. Merry Christmas, everybody. With our schedules. Merry Christmas.
Have a happy holiday.
Merry Christmas to you, man.
Enjoy it. I hope the boys get everything they want from Santa.
I do too. He needs to come correct.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody for listening. We appreciate you guys.
Thanks for your support all year long. Thank you to Troy Ackerman and DJ Event Planner.
Thank you.
Our sponsor all year long. We love your product. Use it every day. Use it every hour of every day. I'm checking it. So
we are.
Do without you, Troy.
Thank you guys. Thanks, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ciao.